So you're kind of just sat around his table at the moment eating. So do you want to say anything to each other?
Is the bacon on this table?
There is bacon.
Is bacon good? I say munching some.
Are there any fruits like berries?
Yeah, there's some berries like blueberries, a few grapes.
I'll take some of that.
A couple of apples as well.
Yeah, I'll take
Little
some.
man should eat meat. Meat makes you big and strong. I say, like munching down another piece of bacon.
Oh,
Out of character,
Mhm.
can I take? I don't know which spell I want to learn. Can I decide that between sessions and we say I did it with this long rest?
When you say a spell to
Prepare.
prepare, I mean, yeah, if you want to. I mean,
I'm learning all the level 2 spells at this point.
Yeah,
I have to them, but I don't have them any prepared now. I don't know which ones I want to which one I want to prepare. And
okay.
say before next session I tell you.
All
I'm
the
not
spells?
using any this time. Like I'm using the same. I'm not changing my level 1 slots.
You're basically not swapping in any level 2 spells because you can't decide on what you want. Yeah, I mean, if we either have another long rest, like maybe think about it just in case, like something. If like you go into a quest and you think something might be useful, you can swap it in then. But yeah, I mean, I think if you haven't done it on this long rest, you'll probably have to wait for another one. Is that fair?
I have to do at the long rest. Yeah, that's why I was asking if I can tell you after the session, so I'm not holding people up now by looking the spells up.
No, of course. I mean, if you want to just be looking at that stuff in the background whilst we play, feel more than free. But yeah,
I can't split my attention like that. Sorry.
All right, fair enough. Okay. If we have another long rest, you can maybe think about it again. But let's just carry on for now, just so we don't take any more time on. Okay, so that would be. Okay, let me just put this in. Okay, so you guys are just sat around the breakfast table. Castilian isn't back yet, actually. Neither is Sergeant McGuff. You haven't seen either of them around Nighthill's house. You're just eating the meal with Nighthill for now. He's just kind of eating.
I would like to look to Nighthill for a second.
He
Do you know if Nub made it in?
Ah, yes, you were caravan guards for him or something like that, weren't you?
Yeah, it kind of slipped my mind. Been a long day. We probably should have gone back to him.
Oh, don't worry. Nub slips everyone's mind, and for good reason.
He still need to pay us. I say that with a mouthful of food.
That is true.
He's a shadow of his father.
Any other history?
With his family, yes. His father was a good friend of mine for many years. Traded quite. Are you doing okay over there, Zach? Should probably eat a little bit slower.
Hey, hand him an apple. They'll be good for you.
Meat is a little heavy in the morning. As I pop a grape in. I don't know.
Anyway.
I'll just take a swig of our drink.
Anyway, as I was saying, yes, we have a history with Nub's family. His father died probably about, 4 years ago. He took over the family business, and frankly, his timekeeping is questionable, and there seems to often be goods missing. I'm frankly a little bit wary of him. What was your take on the man?
He was a bit. He likes to get his way.
At that question, I'll look at Marlo.
Yes, that does sound about right, honestly. I don't really like saying it around him, but he could be nicer. Just rather loud when he doesn't need to be. Sorry, I shouldn't speak ill of people when not in their company. Nighthill would just say, "Oh, don't worry, lad. People have said far worse about Nub. Believe you me. I wouldn't worry about yourself. Drink, eat, enjoy. You've all earned it. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Castilian to return. I would like to have an announcement once everyone's returned from the town. I'm just hoping that they haven't run into many issues, considering that it's been about 8 hours since they went out.
We look after food.
8 hours.
What was that, sorry, Arthur?
8 hours.
I'm surmising, guys. I've slept since then. Maybe closer to about 10. It's possible that they might have held up in town. Depends on where they stopped. Okay, do you guys do anything else?
I'd like to get up, take an apple, and go for a walk outside.
Okay. So, after you oh, sorry, go on.
If the meal is breaking up, then I will also move outside, but I'll move to the dispensary. See if Sasha's in.
You're going to go to the infirmary. Okay. So, is anyone else acting, or are you staying in Nihil's house?
I'm still eating.
Okay, Zach's still eating.
Worked up quite an appetite.
How about you, Delman?
I'll finish eating up. I wanna give Zach a look over. Do I notice anything different about him now?
No. No. Apart from what you saw last night, everything else about Zach seems to be as it was before.
You're a strange one. Not quite what I expected.
You small one.
I'll get up from the table. Save me some meat. I'll walk out the house.
Okay. Did you say you walked out the house? Sorry, Delman.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just go in order. So, Arthur, you were going for a walk outside?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you do when you walk?
I want to go up onto the battlements and just generally basically go from corner to corner with it, looking out over the town to see what the damage is like and see what people are doing.
Okay, so as you walk top the battlements and you look around, it's kind of like you surmised when you went into Greenest, right? So, one foot another when you walk, Bug. Okay, fine. I know I don't talk properly. I'm multitasking. It's... Shut up, I'm still getting used to this. So, you just walk around and people are looking quite tentative. It doesn't really seem that there's many people walking around injured. It's kind of like Night Hill was surmising. A lot of them probably managed to find shelter elsewhere or hid in cellars. The damage to the buildings themselves, pretty minimal, honestly. You can kind of see a little bit of fire damage on the roofs, but a lot of the buildings are made out of stone, so the attempt to start fires were kind of in vain, really. It was probably more of an intimidation tactic. If you want to kind of want any more detail than that, I'd ask you to roll investigation.
I'll roll investigation, see if I can get anything more.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay, on an 11, it's as much as you've seen before. I mean, your eye is kind of like drawn to the scorch mark that was over here that was mentioned, that warning shot that the two guards mentioned a couple of sessions back. And you kind of just look at that and you look at the wall, and once again it just hits you that this dragon that was here really wasn't trying very hard. But apart from that, Greenest looks to be somewhat peaceful, if not a bit battered.
Is Delman beside me?
Delman?
Yeah, I stepped up beside you. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to say anything to him, or?
You think we should go and look for Nub?
Well,
And get our coin.
He seemed a hardy fellow, but my heart goes out to another of my species. It may be best.
Okay.
Right.
So I take it that you guys are going to move off the battlements and head into town?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I will anyway. Everyone's
So
following me.
I'm going to
You're
cut.
moving on your own?
I'm just about to say I'm going to. Did you say that you two were going together? Apologies.
See.
Okay.
Leaving the rest of us.
So at this point, I'm going to cut over to Gwen, who's going to check on Sasha. Okay, so Gwen, you go over to the makeshift infirmary, and do you enter or do you knock first?
Knock.
Okay, so you knock on the door. Doesn't appear to be a reply for a few moments, and you kind of like hear a couple of locks disengage, and Sasha opens the door. She looks a little bit disheveled. It looks like she's probably been working through the night. And she just goes, Gwen, yes, good morning. Please, don't mind my appearance. Come in, come in.
Worry, it's been a long night.
Okay, and with that, you enter the infirmary. There's still quite a lot of people who are injured. As you approach the table, you'll notice that there's quite a few bowls marked with various herbs. And Sasha just goes, "So, what can I do for you this morning, Gwen?"
I just wanted to see if there's anything I can help you with in here this morning.
Actually...
Maybe we can get the big guy and talk to him at some point, if you're free.
Yes. If I'm honest, I was actually hoping that we could have a conversation by ourselves. You're from the Order of the Ash, aren't you?
Yes.
I thought you might be. I was looking at your staff. Sorry, a bit of a stereotype, but I have good instincts.
You were right in this case. A valued gift.
Well, as you may have noticed, I'm from the Order of the Bio. Have you heard of us?
I'm sad to say I'm not the most versed on the orders in the south. As you might know, the Ash is in the north. Most of our people are in the north, so I know a few of the orders around there. And while I've been on the road lately, it hasn't been so much with our people.
Yes, I've always had a lot of respect for your order, valuing stability and passing on knowledge. I wish my order was as understanding of my activities, but you probably want to know more about the potion from last night.
I have to admit, I'm clearly impressed. Just simply impressed at your potion brewing overall. Those healing potions you made, they were really good.
Yes.
Already. And the potion you created, this is your own creation, right?
It is, yes.
Amazing.
You probably don't understand why I would be ashamed of such a thing. I mean, yes, of course, to an outsider it would seem very impressive, but how much you said you know nothing of my order, correct?
I'm ashamed to admit I don't.
Well, my order doesn't exactly approve of the manufacture of potions. We tend to operate mostly in urban areas like this. We're merchants, yes, and we gather herbs, but there's been a few incidents occurring over the last few years that have...
Someone made love potions?
No, nothing like that. No, I probably have the Order of the Hamlock to thank for that.
Oh, yes.
She kind of furrows a brow. If you're not familiar with the
They
orders...
gave a name.
Well, yes, the name actually gives you quite a good impression of their nature. I could probably tell you more about the orders in detail another time if you'd like.
If we get the chance, that would be a conversation I would very much.
But anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've still got so much work to do, and well, I was hoping I could test you, actually. You seem to have a good head on your
Test
shoulders. Yes, I want to give you something, but tradition mandates that I need to test your abilities first, just to see what your knowledge of herbs is like. I assume that you have an interest in such things, being from the Ash.
You are right, I do indeed. The seeking knowledge about plants is what drove me on the road in the first place.
Okay, so before we continue with this tangent, does anyone else want to act?
They wrote.
Yeah, sorry, let me just say. Zach would like to find the biggest piece of meat he can and wrap it outside a cloth element. Okay, yeah, Zach, you can absolutely just take a piece of meat and put it in front of a trading dummy if you like. No, it's okay. Does anyone else want to act? I'll probably come back to Arthur and Thingy for a second and then come back to this conversation in a moment, if that's okay.
I've wrapped the meat up and I've got it stood on me, but I'm looking for a trading dummy to actually practice against.
Okay, so as this conversation is taking place with Gwen and Sasha, you place this meat outside by the training dummy for Delman. That is pretty adorable. Okay, so I'm just going to come back for a few moments to Arthur and Delman. So you guys are going into Greenest proper?
Yeah. I'm going specifically looking for Nub.
Okay, so what are you looking for, sorry?
Nub in his caravan.
Okay, roll investigation, see if you can see him anywhere.
Given there's two of us, would you say with advantage?
Yeah, you've got two pairs of eyes. I'll give you that. That's really good job there. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, with a 21. Honestly, I don't know, but honestly, you don't really need to look because you can hear Nub before you can see him. He seems to be sat with Castilian and Sebastian. They're kind of like gathered outside of an inn just down the road from the keep. Do you approach him?
Yes.
Okay, so you approach Nub and he just goes, "Where have you been? You're supposed to protect us and get this stuff to Governor Nighthill."
Protecting Governor Nighthill.
No, protecting the goods and getting them to Nighthill. Where did you go?
We did protect you. In an indirect fashion.
Yes, by running off into Greenest without my permission. Sebastian is going to kind of just put his hand in front of Nub's face and just goes, "My friends, I'm glad to see that you're alright. Arthur, I can't thank you enough for your assistance. Back at the ridge, I would have feared that we would have been killed outright, Nub, if you hadn't intervened."
It wasn't just me. But you're welcome.
You gave us a heads up, and obviously I appreciate everyone else's efforts too, but you also saved our lives, sealing that crate shut. I noticed what you did there. Very clever. It meant that there was no scent to follow.
Exactly. These mistakes were made initially.
Yeah, I fear that's probably my fault. Yeah, rookie mistake. But what Nub is trying to say is that he was concerned about your whereabouts, but I knew that you'd be just fine. I mean, honestly, traveling separately made a lot more sense, but he wasn't having any of it.
Did you see much of the caravan coming past you, or did they go in a different direction?
The guards met us coming down the hill probably about a couple of hours ago. They're just checking over the caravan. They seem to be really cautious. What was going on down here?
There was some sort of invasion. They came to steal goods, and generally to terrorize the townfolk, it seemed.
And where were you on, no less?
We were mostly rescuing the civilians, and we were in the keep for the last portion of it.
Well, maybe we should discuss this over a drink. We need to get this over to... need to get it over. Sebastian kind of just puts his head aside. Sorry, it's been a very long night. Let's reconvene to the... Yeah, let's reconvene at the keep. I'm sure that the guards will have finished checking over the caravan by now. It'll probably be there, honestly, by the time we get back.
Excellent.
Okay. Do you guys do anything else in town, or are you heading back?
I would like to ask for a walk me down.
What?
A drink to go.
Yeah. Something cheap to go.
A walk me down, like a vendor stand or something?
No, it's an alcoholic drink. Basically, you take it to walk.
Oh god, I'm not well versed in cultural references. I apologize.
I didn't know that, to be honest, Bugs. So you're not the only one.
Fair enough. It's not just me being ignorant for a change, thank God. Okay, so are you guys going to head back then? Other than getting this, so you're kind of like looking for an alcoholic drink? Did you say, Arthur?
Yeah, just something cheap and simple to walk away with.
Okay, I'd say that you're kind of like near a tavern. You sort of shout in that you want a drink to go, and a little gnome comes out with a tray of drinks. He goes, "Hey, would you like some drinks?"
How much?
Oh, just a silver.
That's expensive for a walk me down.
It's expensive for me to produce it and to walk over here, but we can't all have what we want in life, can we?
I would like to crouch down and look him straight in the eyes.
He just
Copper.
He just has a massive smile on his face. He is not getting any ground. He's done this before. Roll persuasion. Okay, you see a bead of sweat come down the guy's eye as you make this up. He said, you'd rather have bagging? Yeah, okay. I'm bored.
Hey, I give him 5 copper and take a drink.
Yeah, okay, so he just hands it over to you. Still has that massive smile on his face, and he just takes the copper. So he goes in. Right.
I'll look over the tray of drinks. None for me.
Oh, okay. Have a nice day. And he goes inside, not saying another word to you. Okay, I'll cut back to Gwen and Sasha's conversation at this point. Okay, so Sasha's just said that she wants to test you. So, Gwen, you notice on the counter that Sasha was working with that there is, let me just see, in fact, it might be better copying this list to you just so you don't have to keep referring back to it. Various containers labeled with, like, you can assume that the various herbs. And, like, Sasha motions to the guards around. Some of them have injuries, and she says to you, I'd like to see how much you actually know about herbs. Not to insult you in any way. I just need to get an idea of what your current level of knowledge is. So,
I understand.
So these are the herbs that you see. Kind of like as many containers as you got here, and they're all labelled up individually. So, Gwen just goes, I'd like your help in treating the sick soldiers who remain here. Take a look over them, see what's wrong.
Sasha.
Oh, Sasha. Sorry, Gwen. Sorry.
You're not playing me. Not tonight.
I'm not with it. I am so sorry. Gwen, I'd like you to look over each of these individuals and see what's wrong with them. And then come back over here, examine these herbs, and use the best solution in order to solve each problem. Do you understand?
Yes, I believe I do.
Okay.
Out of character, there are those, and they only go to C. So we have only ones with A, B, and C.
So it's just what she's put in front of you for now. So if you kind of question that, Sasha will sort of like motion to the boxes behind her and said, unfortunately, considering how rushed this was, I didn't have a chance to unpack everything, so it's limited, but you should have what you need here.
Sorry, this was a question out of character.
It is, but she will mention that as well.
I was just asking if the list cut off or if
No, that's all there is.
That's the list. Okay.
That's the whole list.
Good.
Okay, so what do you do then? Do you go around to each of the 6 guys, or are you going to look over the herbs first?
I'm going to look at the guys, like one by one.
Actually, I'm going to just switch the map over just so... I know there's a few guys on this map, so I'll just get rid of the others. So it's just you two. Okay, so which one do you go to first?
You might have switched the map, but...
Oh, sorry, I need to... I always forget that you have to drag the banner over. There we go. Okay.
Alright, I'm guessing I was standing next to her at the table?
Yes, you were. So I'll just post you up here. Okay, I'm just going to...
In that case, I will go clockwise.
You're going to go clockwise. So are you starting from the bottom left?
Top right.
Top right. Okay. Right, I'm just double checking what is wrong with each of these guys. Just labeling them up. Right. Okay. So as you walk over to him, I want you to do a medicine check. Wow.
That's a start.
Nice.
I'm sure I know exactly what is wrong with him.
What was that, sorry? Yeah, so, you look over him. This actually is someone who... He's got similar injuries to the guy that Delamain inspected a few sessions ago. He seemed to have severe burns on the forearms and a little bit on the back. So that is basically his ailment. The guy appears to be conscious. He's responding well to questions. Doesn't appear to have anything that's affecting his cognitive abilities. The burns seem to be the only thing that's wrong with this individual.
I'm assuming was that we're skipping me talking to him.
If you want to talk to him as well, that's fine. If you want to ask him more questions, I gave you a lot of information because of the map.
Oh, okay. Yes, I would like to ask him that I'm seeing the. Do I actually see the burns? I don't see them. They're probably wrapped, right?
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, you kind of... Sort of, the burns have already been bandaged, although the bandages could be removed to apply sort of some other solution to it. But yeah, he... So
in that case, I would like to ask him, like, which parts, like, I can see that his arms are in bandages, but since he's in bed, I'm not sure what other parts of his body might be burned.
I mean, when you did the check, I kind of assumed that you'd give him whatever, but he kind of, like, turns around in the bed to show you, like, the bandages on his back as well.
Okay.
And,
so his arms and his back, as in his...
As in...
I heard check off his arms, so...
oh, sorry, he, like his forearms and also his actual back has burns on it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. And also asking him if anything else is ailing him at this moment.
Okay, this guy's just gonna go, no, I admit that after the injury, I passed out from the shock, but Miss Holloway says that everything is okay, otherwise she didn't seem to think that anything else was wrong, so yes, very astute of you.
Right. And with that, I will thank him and turn to the next one. She did need to look at all.
Yep, she wants
the one below.
The one below.
So right middle.
Okay, so once again, do a medicine check to see what's wrong with him. Okay, so you go over to this guy. He doesn't appear to acknowledge you. he has his head in his hands, and he just seems to be sort of like murmuring something, and like every now and again he seems to be spasming. However, on a 19, you can surmise that this man has suffered some sort of post-traumatic trauma, and that whatever injury he incurred has caused him to sustain some muscle damage due to the excess spasming, and he might have been hurt in another way. Do you attempt to ask him any questions?
I will definitely move close. I'm not moving the token. I'm too lazy to stop. But I'm moving up to the bed, and I'll see if I can get his attention in any way.
Okay.
Like without touching, just moving close, moving in his field of vision. Not touching it.
Okay. So you approach him gingerly. He kind of stops muttering after a few moments, and he just looks to face you, and he just says, "Please, please help me." He doesn't say anything else.
Okay. Since he is focused on me, I will slowly reach out and try to touch his shoulder.
As you reach out to touch his shoulder, he instinctively jerks away. Not to be rude, he just is pretty... still obviously very shaken up. Sasha will go, I wouldn't... Oh, so go on.
Yeah, directly moving a step back. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. I removed the hand. Having my hands visible where he can see them up.
Yeah.
Fine. You're in a safe place here. We will help you.
He just takes a moment and just goes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. All is fine. We will help you.
Thank you. Okay, and with that, he kind of just returns as he was.
Okay. Did I cause Gwen too much grief? Was that?
Did Gwen touch?
Did it cause Sasha grief? Was that?
No. Sasha was trying to interject, but she just says, "Yes. Unfortunately, he's quite sensitive. You did pretty much the same as me. I actually know this man. He lost He lost his wife and child. Yes. He wasn't in time to save them. He just keeps muttering. I knew him quite well. He came to my shop often. He always had a smile on his face. He's a good man. Just be patient with him."
He's hurt. He's hurt. There's physical, there's other hurt.
We can help him though, Gwen.
We can. We can. But it will take time. This is nothing that can be healed in a day.
No. I think you and I both understand that there's some healing that takes sometimes a lifetime, but we'll be here to help them, Gwen.
We will.
Continue your rounds for now.
I will move on to the next with that.
Okay.
Bottom right.
Okay, so you move to the bottom right. Roll a medicine check again, please. Oh, you're really good at this. Okay, so with a 22, this guy is he's coughing quite like the Jamesons were when they came in after being in that building. So you just kind of hear, sorry, sorry, I can't stop for more than a few moments.
Try to reach your arms up. Try to reach your arms as far as you can above your head. Anytime the coughing starts.
Okay, so he follows your instructions. As he raises his arms, because he rolled so high, you can see lacerations on his arms. Judging by... Because you rolled so high, you can determine that these are fresh wounds. This was probably a soldier that might have been out with Castilian, dealing with the rest of the raiders. You don't actually know how recently these guys were brought in, but you can tell that these wounds are relatively fresh, especially compared to the ones that you've seen so far.
Out of character, that's a move to lengthen the body. It makes coughing easier.
Oh, to lengthen the body, so is he kind of like stretching out, sorry?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, reach your arms up as far as you can. That makes it makes coughing easier.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but even so, I'd say that you still see those wounds regardless.
Yeah, I see.
Why didn't you tell me that? Could have done with that this past week.
But, yeah, so when he does that, the coughing does ease a little bit, but he is still very much quite ill. Like,
it doesn't stop, but it makes the cough, like, it stops at not being able to cough.
Yeah.
Not lung airflow.
It kind of, it improves it a little bit. But he does visibly wince when he's extending his arms to kind of like stretch himself out. So you see those wounds. So do you have any other questions for him?
Yes, since I'm assuming that he might have been out, I'm going to ask him. You were out this night? You were in town this night?
Yes, I was with Castilian and the others. I had to go into one of the buildings. It was... They didn't really do much damage, but...
But there was some burns, some fire, smoke?
No, not... The smoke was from the inside the building. When I was trying to carry some people out, I must have caught my forearms on some rusty nails. There seemed to be quite a few just hanging out from the dungeon. I assume that maybe when the raiders were trying to gain entry, maybe they knocked a few out of place. But honestly, with the adrenaline, it could be anything.
We'll see that those here are nice and clean.
Okay.
And unless he looks like he wants to say anything more right now, I will move on to the next.
Yeah, he has no more information for you, so... Okay.
Not just information. He might just want to have someone close, but...
To be fair, his injuries don't really... Or his ailments don't seem to be as severe as the guy next to you, so he's in discomfort, but nothing's really wrong with him. I think, to be honest, they're probably a bit browbeaten by Sasha to not to whine too much.
Fair. I knew I like her.
Yeah, okay, so which one are you going to next?
Following the clockwise pattern, I'm going to the bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay, so roll a medicine check to see if you know what's wrong with this one. Okay, 22 again. Right, so this guy has got bandages on his arm. You notice upon inspecting the bandages that there's a lot of bleeding. Heck of a lot of bleeding. They probably got caught on some glass somewhere. It still seems to be bleeding now. He seems to be fidgeting around a lot. But not really acknowledged you yet.
I'm going to move closer to him. Moving to his field of vision.
Okay.
Close enough. Is he lying on his bed looking back, or is he kind of half sitting up?
Half sitting up.
Okay. So, yeah. Moving closer. Seeing if he acknowledges me.
Yeah, he's just kind of fidgeting. He just goes, damn it, I just want to get back out there. I just want to complete my job. Look, lady, I'm sorry, I don't mean any offense, but can you get these bandages off? They're just really irritating me.
Do you want to do your job today? Or do you want to do your job for the rest of your life and do a good job? We can get you out here. We can let you out today, just now. And you might be out there for a little bit. And then you're gonna see what happens when you don't take your bandages. Keep your bandages on.
Roll persuasion with
tell you-
advantage. Yeah, more or less.
You're not gonna like it.
Okay. Roll persuasion with advantage to just convince him to simmer down a bit, because that was a pretty strong argument. Yeah. So he drops his he drops his attitude pretty quickly. I just goes,
How can I roll like that right now?
it's when it doesn't matter.
This is where you know all your good rolls are.
This is what happens with me too.
Sorry.
I just roll really insignificant rolls when it's stuff like this. Actually, no, this is pretty important for you still. So the guy just zips.
Still, that was 2 19s. I mean, with the -1, but
Yeah. He just, like, the guy just zip. He just stops talking as soon as you open your mouth, and he's just like, yes, ma'am. Okay, I'll stop fidgeting. I'm sorry. I really mean no offense. He's quite nervous now. I just don't like leaving my men out there. Bunch of kids.
I understand. You want to be out with them and help. But the best way for you to do your job right now is to get healthy, quick, and then show them how you're leading. Also, if you're doing your job right, your men will know what to do.
Honestly, I don't know if you're a healer or whether I should enlist you into my ranks.
I do not.
You have a fierce one here, Sasha. Sasha just kind of goes, she does remind me of me, definitely. Okay, so this guy seems to have simmered down for now.
I'll just smell at Sasha at that.
Okay.
Smell over the shoulder.
This guy doesn't really offer anything else, so do you move on?
He is still bleeding. He's fidgeting. Yeah, he's calmed him down some. I would like to ask him if there's any injuries aside from the bandages that I'm seeing. Like any of his recovers or anything. Sorry, someone here.
I'm a bit embarrassed to say it. Actually, I was one of my men was messing about, not really paying attention. One of those, the Drake things. It whipped his tail towards him, shattered a window. I had to tackle, but I caught my arms on the glass.
Well, yeah.
I would rather it be him than me, but still. Well, me than him. Whoa. Oh, sorry. Freudian slip there. Yeah.
Let's hope it was. I'm sure we can get these cuts stitched up and patched.
I'll try and stay still for both of you, lovely ladies. But don't keep me here too long, Sasha. And yes, I know I need to heal.
You do what you can. We'll do what
I'll stay. I'll behave myself, and you get me out of here. I'd say that's a fair deal. Okay.
But it is.
And with that, he ends his conversation with you.
And with saying that it is, I will directly turn away and not give him a chance to.
Fair enough. Okay.
And turn to the next guy. Like I'm standing kind of close by the foot, or between the foot ends of the beds.
Okay.
The lower two. So turning towards the middle left.
Yeah. So roll your medicine check for this guy. Oh, okay. Wow, from one end of the spectrum to the other. Jesus. Okay, so
I had to come down.
So this guy I sick is probably about the this is probably the best thing you can glean from that. You kind of look, and I assume that you're still a little bit flustered with talking to this guy who was a little bit standoffish with you. Unfortunately, you can't really get a handle on what's wrong with him. He appears feverish, but that's literally all I can tell you based on that. You have no idea what's causing it. He doesn't appear to be responsive. He's kind of going in and out of consciousness right now.
All right. Since I can see a way to find out more if he's does not appear to be fully lucid, or might not even appear lucid to me at all. I'm guessing it looks to me like he's sleeping at this moment.
Yes, I would say on that roll. Yeah.
In that case, I will look again if I see any bandages on him.
So
just nothing. If he's covered in blankets, then I don't see it. Just
yeah,
does he have a bandage on his face? I'd like.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I might be able to see that.
Yeah, considering I could probably be nasty on a nat one, but no, unfortunately, you can't glean anything else from this guy. No bandages are visible to you, and he's kind of covered with his bed sheets right now.
Good enough. In that case, I will move on to the last guy.
All right, the last one. So, roll medicine on this one. Okay, so let me just...
Doc, you jinxed me.
Just a little bit. God. Right, so the thing is, because this is so obvious, I will let it go. You can see that this person's right shoulder is it looks like it's been dislocated. It's not where it should be, and it's swollen. But you can't. But considering that's such a low roll, you can't really tell what the nature of the injury is or what caused it. Just that the anatomy of this person doesn't look quite right.
I'm going to guess he is awake.
This guy. No, this one's conscious. So you can ask them questions if you like.
Okay, in that case, I would like to. I already moved up to him. I'm going to ask him. Your shoulder does not look quite right to me. Want to tell me what happened? Can you tell me what happened?
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Raiders, and I got slammed against something. I just remember a sharp pain coming from my shoulder, and then I passed out. Next thing I knew, I was here. I'm sorry, I don't remember anything else.
That's quite alright. It's the way our mind protects us. Sometimes we can't remember. Sometimes it's better not to remember. But I'd say you were quite lucky to wake up here.
Yeah, you can say that again. Listen, I'm sorry. I'd like to just rest my eyes for a few minutes if you don't mind.
You do that. You do that.
Okay, so they kind of like lie back down in the bed after you've talked to them, and yeah. Okay, so you've now seen all of your patients. So Sasha just goes to you. Okay, so what are your thoughts on these?
I'd say none of these are too far out of what we might expect after a night like this.
You seem to be getting quite... Sorry.
No, I'll let her talk.
I was watching you quite closely as you went around. You seem to have a real knack for this. Really talented. You seemed a little bit stumped by this one over here, though. I'm not sure why you didn't check their heal. You seem to give everyone else such a thorough examination. They've got an infection down there. It seems to be... It's not something that was noticed at first by the soldiers in the field, so the infections had the opportunity to fester, hence the feverishness.
It would explain, and I have to say, I was not sure how you or how these people will view me touching and me lifting clothes. So I was a little shy to act on that.
Lacks practical experience, but very smart. Yes, definitely. We can definitely do something with you.
this is your infirmary, not mine. I know different places have different rules. That's why I have to admit it was a little short on him. I gleaned what I could see, but since he was not able to talk and give consent, I was very detached.
Yes, under the circumstances, that would be correct. I mean, fortunately, I'd examined these patients beforehand, so I already know what's wrong with them, but I wanted to see how your diagnosis would be. But other than that, almost flawless.
I would say the one we probably need to get to the first is that fellow near the door on the left side, like the impatient guy.
Yeah, this one here.
Yes. I'm discreetly motioning in that way, so like that they can't hear me, only she can.
She can't.
We can talk without them hearing.
She just kind of gives you a playful nudge and just goes, "Yeah, I'm not really sure what that guy's problem is, but yeah, we could probably make his wish come true and get him out of here, but he still needs some time anyway. We've talked for long enough. You see these herbs in front of you. I'd like you to take what you've learned and see what the best remedy is for each of these people."
Out of character.
Mhm.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a bunch for what, sorry?
About half of these I don't recognize. I probably know them in other languages.
Oh no. So let me put it this way. I'm not just to explain out of character. I'm not expecting you to know what these are and what they do, because I'm going to have you.
I know a few of them.
Yeah, I'm going to roll to have you to identify these and what they do.
Okay.
Just to give you a better idea. Yeah, so I'm not being that nasty. I'm just.
Thank you.
Because these will mechanically probably do something different in my game than you might expect them to do. Because I got this from PDF. So now you're looking at the herbs. Incidentally, guys, do you want me to cut over to someone else because this section's gone on for a little bit?
I assume that we're just walking back at this moment, and we're going to have to wait for Gwen either way.
Okay.
So,
I'm still looking for something to attack or practice on, I guess.
So, are you just kind of like looking for wildlife to attack, or just
like a training dummy or something the gods would use?
Yeah, I'll cut over to Zach for just a moment to let him do something. So, yeah, if you kind of ask around a little bit, so the guards will bring out a training dummy for you and station it in the middle of the courtyard.
Alright then.
You want to?
I'll practice against. I'll thank the guard and then start practicing.
Okay. So you just start practicing against the dummy. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Are you just kind of hitting it for sport, or are you trying to achieve something in particular here?
Ideally, I want the Great Weapon Master feat, but.
Oh, so you're just training. Okay.
Yep.
So I'd probably say that you, like, as you're waiting for the others to come back and Gwen is talking to Sasha, that you're basically just training. So I'd say that you're going to do that for maybe a few hours, just kind of like honing your strikes.
Yep.
Okay, so around this time, Gwen and Sasha do hear some bangs coming from outside, and Sasha goes, "What on earth is going on out there?"
I think the big guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he finished eating.
Yeah, you know what? That actually makes a lot more sense now you've said it. She kind of like looks outside for a moment just to confirm, and yeah, sure enough, she sees Zach just going ham on this training dummy. And then she just shouts to him, yes, you, over there, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Is she talking to Zach?
She's talking to Zach, sorry.
Went outside and talked. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah. But...
I just stop what I'm doing and look at her.
So, listen, I appreciate what you did for us last night, but could you please try and keep it down a little bit? One of our patients gets a bit nervous with loud noises. So...
Is there anywhere I asked one of the guards if there's anywhere further. So let Zog take this outside, keep.
Yeah, the guards will come over and will move the training dummy a little bit outside the grounds, just so it's out of earshot of the infirmary.
Yeah. I'll
So
do
you can
that and
continue
take the meat I
practicing.
served for Dylan and Wimmer.
And just take it with you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue to do that, and Sasha closes the door and just goes, "He's a lively one, your friend."
Yes, that he is.
Any-
I just Castilian has more than one of whatever he found hitting.
Castilian is fond of hitting quite a lot. He's got a lot of pent-up energy, that one. I'm kind of surprised he stayed here so long.
Well, I'm sure then he and Doc will have some fun.
Anyway, back to your test. So, have a look at the herbs in front of you and consider what you've learned. Okay.
The first thing I'm seeing here. Oh, this is so nice for you to have. I see that you have some chamomile here.
Mm-hmm.
So, my first order would be to say to brew some chamomile tea, because this will benefit several of them.
Okay.
Our nervous friend, but also the poor soul who lost his family. For both of them, it will calm, and it will not hurt the others. It also should do good with the fever.
Okay, so which one are you wanting to give the chamomile to again?
Chamomile, make it tea and have it to the...
So, like this guy?
Middle right and bottom left.
Middle right and bottom left. Let me just check which.
The bottom left, not for his injuries, just for his
temperament, maybe.
Patience. Yes, since the calming, using the calming of it.
Okay, so Sasha will follow your instructions. She's deferring to your judgment for the purposes of this test. So she brews up the chamomile tea and she gives it to this guy with the muscle spasms and the stress disorder. So he calms down quite a lot, actually. That seems to really help him. And this guy over here, the one in the bottom left, he stops fidgeting as much. Although you notice that the guy over here...
It's temperament with him.
Yeah, for his temperament. It's not really helped his ailment any, but it's kind of made him less fidgety. Just less... he's got less nervous energy now he's strung out. But this guy appears better. Okay, what else do you do?
Then I'm actually going to ask her about something that's not here.
Okay.
Not on the list.
Okay, Sasha...
And yes, Sasha, on the way into town yesterday, I saw lots of dandelion on the road. Do you have some dandelion?
Unfortunately, not with me. I didn't have many chances to go out to pick some more. We used up quite a lot of our stock just the day before, actually.
Understandable. Maybe we can get one of our friends to pick some.
Although what you have here, bear in mind, will be enough.
Dandelions is antidepressant.
Yes, of course.
That's why I would like to have some dandelions. And if she had some dried, I would have crafted them so to have a bunch of dandelions next to them. Maybe ask Johnny, if Johnny is still around, little John.
Ah, yes, I was wondering where
or some of one of the children. Maybe they'll have some fun. Find some dandelions.
Sasha just takes out a notebook and she scribbles something in it, making basically a note of what you said for later. So she then just...
this is the long-term effect, not something short-term.
Yep. She nods and agrees with you.
Then we had the guy with the cuts that need to be rebandaged.
So this guy over here was bleeding. He wasn't actually actually no, the guy with fresh cuts, he was the one over here, I believe. He's just kind of like, so yeah, he might need some rebandaging.
On the bottom right.
The bottom right, yeah, that was him.
needed. I saw fresh cuts, so he
Yeah.
probably needs them bandaged. And I would advise to clean them with aloe.
With what? Sorry.
Use aloe to clean the cuts.
Did you say Arlen? Sorry.
Aloe.
Aloe. Is that is that actually on the list, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I might.
It's the second item.
Oh, aloe. Beg your pardon. Sorry.
Aloe.
Okay.
Yeah. The E is pronounced. So.
Oh right. Sorry. I was for some reason I thought you were saying Arlen for some reason. Okay.
Well, aloe. I'm assuming that's aloe vera.
So, before you go any further, do you want to actually roll to see if you know precisely what everything on this list does?
Okay, yeah, we're getting past the point, and we're probably at the point where.
Yeah, just more to speed this up a little bit.
Okay, let me roll. What do you want me to roll?
I'd probably say medicine with advantage because you're identifying herbs, and I do believe you do get advantage in identifying herbs as a druid.
She knows the dank when she sees it.
Okay, so from the selection that Sasha has provided you with, basically I would say that you know more or less the right answer to most of this. Sort of like, you notice that with the... Let me see how many of these I'll give you on a 21. I think I'll probably give you most of them. So, the chamomile has already done a lot for this guy over here. Who's laughing at me now?
All of us. We're all laughing at you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I'm going on quite a bit.
What we're laughing at?
I don't actually know, but I assume it's at my expense.
You're a fan.
Yeah. So, yep, the chamomile was right, definitely, for the guy who was murmuring. You also notice that the Arpsa will be good for his muscle damage. Or like for his spasming to kind of help heal that. I'll also give you, because you'd already mentioned the guy in the bottom left, hadn't you? So for his, like, which ones did you already mention? You mentioned 3 of them, didn't you? You mentioned the one fresh cuts. So you actually remember back to the Jamesons. I'll give you this one for free because you've seen this before, actually. That you remember the Jamesons that she treated the coughing with Arlen.
With Arlen,
yeah,
yes.
with Arlen for the smoke. So that was mostly what was wrong with him, and yeah, you already said to.
I did mention
actually,
the
Arlen
other
would.
one too.
Yeah, Arlen does both heals fresh wounds and doubles the rate of respiratory recovery, so that's fine. According to like the version, because I've got like a PDF full of herbs and effects that someone made for the game, so I'm going mostly off that, admittedly.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see which others that you'll identify of that. Did you say anything for the guy up here? Did you say aloe for him? Sorry, Gwen, did you say that you're going to use aloe on the guy in the top right?
I used the wrong mouse. I used the wrong button. I mentioned it for the guy on the bottom right.
On the bottom right.
To clean his wounds, but yes, I would expect it to be for burns as well.
Okay, so that would be...
yeah.
That'll be right for him. Okay, I'm just seeing how many more I will give you for that. Yep, so yeah, I'll give you 4 of them basically. So the guy who was complaining at you, who was bleeding from his arms, you grab some blackberry leaves because they can stop bleeding quite quickly, because he was still bleeding through his bandages, so you managed to do that. And the guy who, like this one up here, let me just see how many more of these. I think there's 2 more that you need to deal with. Okay, so for these last 2, I'm going to give you a couple of options. So you think that for the one with the fever who's got like the infection on his heel, that maybe Cat's Tail would be a good choice, but you feel that you need something else to go along with it. You're looking between the Colt's Foot, the Adder's Tongue, and the Callan. You kind of narrowed it down to those. I'll let you roll again to see if you can kind of search your memory to see if you know what will be the best choice here.
Is this medicine or is
Medicine,
this
once again,
history or something else?
Make it medicine again. Okay, so with the heal, yep, the Cat's Tail will repair the damage on the heel, and then I think I said either Colt's Foot or Adder's Tail. Let me just check what the descriptions of those are. So yeah, Colt's Foot, Adder's Tail will be fine for that. Adder's Tongue, okay. Yep, so it can be used as a balm for wounds, and if the wound is infected, it will draw it out within a day. Okay, so that will work. Right, so the only one who you're not completely sure of is the one with the shoulder problem.
For that, I would advise someone who has an idea of it and to like, rearrange the shoulder. Like maybe Sasha and I can do it together, like move the shoulder back into place.
Okay.
If she thinks it's already that, or if it's swollen too strong and we need to get the swelling down before.
Okay. So
trying to get it back into the socket.
Yep. Sasha will pick up some.
Asking Sasha, not
Oh yeah, I know. You're just asking Sasha. Okay, Sasha will look over at the guy and she will get some just Avandas, I believe it's pronounced. So she applies this to the fracture on the sort of like on the shoulder, and she just goes.
It's a fracture.
Yeah, so it's a fracture on the shoulder, but you didn't quite have enough information because of your role. But all you could really tell from your check is that it looked messed up. So she just says, I'll adjust it when, sort of after a few moments. The herb takes some time to kick in, but I don't want to adjust it just yet until it's healed just a little bit. Yes, I don't, but I'll adjust it later because I don't want it to heal too much, that it will heal over the fracture, but not long enough that it's just going to cause further damage. So Sasha goes, all in all, you did very, very well. But I tell you what, go out and meet with your friends for a little bit. I'll prepare something for you. I'm sure that you'll like it once it's ready, but you've been a big help today, Gwen. You should see if your friends need you for anything. You've saved me a lot of time. I could probably clear these beds soon and then get some more patients in.
Thank you for letting me help. Thank you for allowing me into your room. Into your I want to say dispensary. Infirmary. Sorry, missing the English word.
It's okay. She just bows to you and you leave the infirmary.
And I'll see if I can see anyone around or just Zark.
Okay, you kind of have to round the corner a little bit because that moved a bit out of the keep. I'll just move the map back to the keep. Would say that Zark, you're over here. Just beating on a training dummy.
Zark, do better, Wolf. Gwen will probably hear when she comes over.
Yeah, I'll just move you guys off the map for the moment.
Cool.
So
just watching him, but also looking out if I see Marlowe around.
Actually, so I did just hide Marlowe, but he didn't really go into town with the others. He just chilled and had some breakfast, but He's just coming out of the building now, just kind of wondering what's going on. So he just goes to sit by the campfire, not paying any particular mind to either you or Zark unless you engage him first.
I see Zark is busy. I don't see anyone else looking for me. In that case, I will also sit down and take out my notebook and make some notes on talking with Sasha.
Marlo would just ask, I see you went into the infirmary. You're talking to that lady we met yesterday, Sasha, wasn't it?
Yes, Sasha. Wonderful healer. I'm very lucky to get the chance to talk to her some.
Yes, she seemed rather like you, actually. Sorry, that maybe sounds a bit presumptuous.
She is a druid like me.
Oh,
We're not from the same order.
I knew there was a resemblance somewhere. The others haven't gone back yet, but...
I said there is.
There is. Oh, okay.
There is.
Oh, there is. Ah, yes. Yes. I don't suppose you've seen the others, have you? They've been out there for about half an hour.
I have not. I mean, we can hear Zark. He is practicing, but the other two I have not seen. Not since we left the table.
Stupid lizard! Ah!
Okay, as Zark imagines this being Langdrosa, I'd say that you guys, Nub, Sebastian, Arthur, and Delman now arrive back at the keep.
I've drunk to walk me down.
Okay. You know what? Just because you do it to me, roll a con save.
Ah.
You knew this was coming. You feel great. That's best drink you've had for a while, actually.
Damn right.
Really refreshed.
Yeah.
Although there was like a bitter taste that you couldn't really put your finger on. But other than that, it was fine.
You get a +5 to your con save.
Yep.
Damn.
He anticipated I'd pull the chicanery if he ever got into my game. He was prepared for me. Okay, so you guys come back. You guys haven't really drawn attention to it, but Nub's caravan is kind of just parked outside here as well. Zark probably didn't notice it because he was just flailing about.
He's too busy attacking this dummy's imagining the guy whose name I've already forgot.
So anyway, you guys get back. Do you say anything as you approach the keep, guys?
Zark. And Nighthill said he wanted to talk to all of us together. You coming inside?
If Zark must. Little man, saved you meat, I say, holding him package.
How big is the meat?
Are
we talking like bacon strip or like goat leg?
I'd say the biggest piece I could find, so whatever Bunky Sounds was on that table.
I'd say that it was a leg of a boar.
Oh, this is quite a gift. Thank you. Sling it over my shoulder, I guess.
I was just going to say you sling it over your shoulder and you kind of throw yourself back because it's heavier than you are.
Really? Goddamn.
No, well, not really. I was just saying that for the yucks, really. Okay, so do you guys say anything else to each other, or do you head into the keep?
I'll head into keep.
I give Gwen and Marlo a nod. Then jump back to the side, see if they're coming as well.
I mean, we're kind of like, they're stood in the main courtyard, so... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move when I meant to just move. Marlo, apologies. Right, so, as you guys move in, you notice some soldiers bringing in several crates, actually, more than you'd actually brought into... Like, because I think you had, like, maybe you recovered 5 crates, didn't you? And you also had a couple that were in there, but they seem to be bringing closer to maybe about 10 or 20 crates. These aren't from the caravan, so... But you can see that a couple of them are, they've kind of got that purple trimming that you saw initially. So basically the crates that you brought have kind of been stashed over to one side. So Nob moves over to the crates and just says to Nighthill, Nighthill, I've got a deal for you here. Oh, really now, Nob? Your gods are intact, but for today only, I brought some extras. And they can...
next to Arthur and whisper to him, is he gonna try to sell these guys their own stuff?
It might be the stuff that we recovered, maybe?
So,
is it the crates that we recovered?
So, yes, it's the crates that, out of character, yes, it's the crates that you've recovered, and he's essentially trying to sell stolen property back to the town.
Is this just the crates we recovered, or is this more even?
So he stood by the crates that he brought specifically. So he's kind of like motioning to the 2 crates that, like the 2 or 3 crates that, I think you recovered 2 crates. So the 4 crates that he was willing to bring to him, and then there was a couple of other crates in addition to that, which was stolen goods, or what you assume to be stolen goods.
Oh, okay. So this is not goods that somehow came to him after we left.
Nope. Nope, it isn't.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Right, so Nighthill just doesn't really look impressed. It seems that he's kind of like done all this before, and he moves over to inspect the crates first, the crates that were actually promised to him, and he kind of just says, Nob, these were damaged in transit. Yes, we were attacked. The convoy was attacked. A massive beast tackled us, and yeah, he's kind of like looking over to you guys to back him up.
I'm just gonna stand there with my arms folded, just watching him.
I'm absolutely not paying attention. I'm scribbling away in a book.
Copying Arthur's stance.
So, Nub pulls his collar.
Eyebrow raised.
Yeah, just goes, but anyway, they got to in good condition. Right? The inside of the crate's fine. You know me, Nighthill. I package everything. 2, 3 layers. Fine. Castilian, bring these into the keep. I'm gonna look to see what extras Nub has brought to us. Right you are, Bernard. Castilian, never mind. So Nighthill then proceeds to have a look at the other crates, and yeah, he just says to Nub, what is this? This is just garbage. Well, just bric-a-brac, you know? Just odds and ends. Thought you might have use of them. He searches the crates a bit closer, and he gets towards the bottom, and he picks up a plate, which he recognizes. It has his family crest on it. Nighthill's expression looks pretty annoyed. So he just goes, Nob. Yeah, what is it? These are family heirlooms. Could you tell me what family heirlooms are doing in your bric-a-brac, as you put it? Well, I can explain. It just got tossed to the wayside. I assumed it didn't. Listen to me, Nob. I've put up a lot with you. Your father was a dear friend of mine. but your workmanship is shoddy. Your goods not much better. Tell me now why I shouldn't just cast you out of my keep. For even entertaining the idea of selling trash, much less my own property, back to me.
Nob still need to pay Zark.
So Nob's looking very nervous, and he actually goes, well, listen. I didn't want to do it. Those guys over there, my employees, they wanted to take a 75-25 split their way. I couldn't talk him out of it. There's 5-on-1. I mean, Sebastian rallied them up. What can I say?
I think it's Mage Hand to slap him.
Roll to
Whilst you
slap.
do that,
Can I
I
slap
want
him?
to also then walk up and put my hand on his shoulder and squeeze.
It really does sound like Bud's Cummins, doesn't it? Hey, that's the reason he's called Nub. Just saying. Okay, so what were you going to say? I kind of missed a bit then.
Got 3 different things. So them 2 first, then me.
Okay. So, go on. I think I heard Alf say that you wanted to slap him.
I wanted to ask Mage Hand and just slap him.
Okay, so you just sort of slap him across the face as he's making this accusation. Sebastian just nods at you. He isn't even trying to stop this. Okay, and what else happens?
And it was Zark.
I don't actually want to slap him because it would do damage.
You'd probably kill him. You could sort of like, there is such a thing as just like attacking for non-lethal, so I won't let you kill him unless you specified
No.
otherwise. Go on, what were you doing, Arthur?
I was simply walking up to him, putting my hand on his shoulder and squeezing.
He looks up at
Nice
you,
and tight.
quite flustered. Roll intimidation.
I will look at Sebastian.
Can I help in that?
Sure.
Put my other hand on his shoulder.
I feel that this is quite cathartic for you. So, yeah, Arthur initially just doesn't feel like he's getting through to Nub at all, but then Zark looms over him, and yeah, his pupils just shrink in terror. So they goes, come on, Nihil. You've known my family for years. Who are you going to believe? These ruffians or family friends? Nighthill just goes, on account of the fact that they just saved the town, Nub, I'm thinking them. You just accused the heroes of this town. I'm in 2 minds whether I should just arrest you on the spot.
He still needs to pay Zark.
So, Nub goes sort of like just getting really annoyed at this point, and he just goes over to his carriage, which they kind of brought into here, horses and all, and he goes over to the horses and he kind of like, they kind of like start whinnying as they go by, and he actually slaps one of them across the head and just goes, "Shut up, you stupid creatures!"
I'll slap him again with the Mage Hand. You don't take it out on the beast.
Picking him up? Would you mind picking him up and moving him over here with that hand?
So,
I think
I
I
would say that he's gone around the back of the carriage, and he
I will
grabs.
move over to the horse.
Yeah, he grabs. He comes around the other side. He's kind of sensing the ambush at play, but as he comes around the other side, he's got like a small coin pouch, and one of the horses actually kicks him quite hard. And
Good girl.
his
Good
face.
girl.
And he chose a really unfortunate spot to fall because his face is now covered in horse feces.
Nice.
So it's just
I'll
like.
get the other one. You're a good girl too.
So with that, he just
Look at the
throws.
horses. I will nod.
He
Smile.
throws out the coin pouch. He just throws it on the floor. Do you have a look to see what's inside it?
Did it land in the horse?
Oh no, no,
manure?
he kind of like he managed to throw it, so it's kind of in the center of you guys.
I'll crouch down and I'll quickly look at it.
Be my guest.
So, do you inspect the pouch?
Yes.
Okay, so you look inside the pouch and you see 30 gold.
Does that cover what we were told we would be paid?
Nope. That was supposed to be each. Oh well, I didn't say that before, but yeah, it's much less than you're expecting. So, Nub just raises his head outside, sort of, I think he said, "Oh, what you giving me that lock for? I lost most of it when I came into town. Bloody raiders."
I'll crouch down beside him and just smile. You had a contract. Fill your contract.
Zog, break legs.
Sorry, Gov.
I crack my knuckles.
Don't have the capital. Simple as that. I was going to make most of it selling this stuff to Night Hill, but hey, doesn't seem to be biting.
So you took a job, promised money with funds you do not have.
Hey, what can I say? I'm an entrepreneur. So at this point, just
Can I throw him out?
Yeah, Night Hill's just heard enough. Actually, him and Sebastian.
Into the horses.
What? Sorry.
As I'm with the horses, I'll slowly untether them from the cart.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Gwen, could you?
She said she'll untether the horses.
She'll untether the horses. Okay.
Untether the horses, like trying to do it so they don't notice.
Yeah, Marlo will come over and help you with that. Kind of like taking your lead, just doing it surreptitiously, like. So, yeah, as this is going on and Arthur's staring down Nub, Sebastian and Night Hill just come around and pick him up by the shoulders, and Night Hill just goes, "Yeah, you're going away for some time." And Nub kind of looks smug for a moment, and he just goes, "Night Hill, let's not be hasty here. Sebastian actually goes, "Nub, just shut the fuck up." And he just goes silent. And a couple moments later, some guards come and carry Nub away.
Cannot say I'm surprised. We are a tricksy bunch.
So, sorry, go ahead.
Is Governor Nightingale back with us, or?
Governor Nighthill didn't leave. He just got some guards to take Nub away.
Okay. In that case, I would like to turn to him and say, I believe your friend, the Johnson family, they lost their horses. Maybe others too.
Yes, that's very, very kind of you. I think I was actually going to adopt the horses myself, but yes, I'm sure that the Jamesons would be really appreciative of the gesture.
I'm sorry. I said Johnsons. I'm sorry, Jamesons.
Oh, it's okay.
Jamesons.
Yeah, I know what you meant. So,
I'd like to hand the coin pounds to Gwen. Split this between all of you. I'll be fine.
So, Nighthill, seeing the coin purse, goes, "You weren't thinking that that's all you're going to be getting from your deeds here. I didn't think that Nub would try to shortchange people with... Oh, actually, no, who am I kidding? Of course he would. I will pay you what you were promised and then some." So Nighthill just opens his own coin pouch and he gives the other guys, basically what Nub should give. So you've all got 30 gold. Now that that's paid, I think...
sorry, I didn't realise I was muted. Zach will just refuse. Like, Zach, no deal with you. Zach, deal with Nub.
Sebastian, do you approve of this? I'm more than happy to give the money to him and he can distribute it out. He did represent Nub after all when he employed you.
Is Sebastian with us?
What? Sorry, Sebastian. Yep,
Yes.
he just told Nob to just shut the F up. So yeah, he's just at the side of you, and he just goes, honestly, my friend, just take the gold. It's fine, really. It was what you were owed. And honestly, considering the ordeal that you've undergone, I think more's coming.
Zark, get from Nub another day.
Well, considering where he's going, you may not have the chance. So just take the gold. Okay, so...
Zark will take it, but it'll look really uncomfortable about it.
You are taking it, Zark?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
But just,
okay.
yeah,
really
if he had kept
just,
refusing...
Yeah.
If he'd kept refusing, I would have taken it and kept it separate from mine. Kept it for him.
So, right, so Nighthill continues. I can't thank all of you enough for your services last night. And you didn't need to interfere in our affairs. It was haphazard and it was desperate. I'm ashamed that I couldn't defend my town more adeptly. And thus I would like...
needed help. You needed help. We did what was necessary.
And thus you'll be rewarded handsomely for it. You may have noticed that quite a few crates are being brought into the keep. It would seem that the raiders hadn't fully retreated by the time that my men got there. At this moment, Delman, you flash back to the conversation that the cultist and that woman with the crop black hair had. And you remember at one point the cultist mentioned that they were going to come back for the rest of the stuff. So Nighthill continues his explanation. It would seem that we caught some of them mid-retreat and we were able to get more of our goods back than we anticipated. So things aren't quite as dire as we thought. All things considered, they got away with a lot, but we shouldn't be hit too hard. So with that, Nighthill brings out 5 pouches, and he gives they all seem to be of the same size, and he gives one to each of you. Do you have a look to see what's inside?
See.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got what? Actually, let me just see what I said for this. You got 200 gold. Each. We recovered a lot. If you hadn't managed to drive them off when we did, I don't think we would have really managed to get much. So we have the funds to spare for this, thanks to you.
Thank you. It's extremely gracious of you.
You saved our lives.
Yes.
Nothing is too great, but
You're very kind to us.
It's all I can afford for now.
Sark's never seen this much gold in his life in a pouch, so he's quite staring at it, shocked.
Actually, we do have more for you. I had a look around my belongings last night, and I realised that I was actually an adventurer like you in my younger days, before I became the governor, and I just feel that seeing that plate reminded me that I'm holding on to some things that I perhaps don't need anymore. So, and he kind of like motions to 3 guards, and Arthur, one of them hands a pair of boots to you.
Okie dokie.
And Zach, another hands a bundle, what appears to be a bundle of rope.
What appears?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, so like Nighthill will start to explain. Arthur, those boots are quite curious. It would seem that they don't leave tracks if you don't want them to, and can be used to cause diversions. I thought it would suit you quite well.
Thank you for that.
So, out of character, you just got some boots, false tracks.
Can go.
Right. Okay. And he goes to Zach, and he actually holds up a pair. Like, he just takes a pair of scissors from one of the guards who just happen to be carrying it, and he snips a little bit off the rope. And then he just says join, and you see the rope knit back together.
How wondrous!
So
I'm looking at this magic swag.
So that is a rope of mending you just got.
Is that a custom item?
Nope. That's just a wondrous magic item, or common magic item. Okay. So actually at this point, Nighthill says, "Oh, I almost forgot. Actually, could we please have the horn and keys back? I don't believe we got around to asking you for them."
Oh, I left the keys down in the tunnel. I did tell Castilian about them.
Ah, it must have slipped his mind. He did go out into town just after, so it's been quite a long evening. He might have picked them up by now, but I wasn't sure. And the horn as well?
Yes. I fish out the horn and hand it over to him.
So as he takes the horn off you, he notices, Delman, what did you do with the horn that you got?
Gwen has it.
Oh, does Gwen have it?
I picked that up. I picked that up and had it in my...
Yeah. Are you carrying that where it's visible? Or is it in your bag right now?
It's in my bag. It's not visible.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, in that case, Nighthill will actually ask...
Do I notice anything since I had looked at that?
Yeah, I would actually say...
Notice anything when he has this?
Yeah, I am contriving a little bit here, but I will say that as this horn is mentioned, your mind does wander to that horn that you got out in the field. So up to you whether you want to kind of show it to him or not.
I will choose not to.
Choose not to. Okay. Right. So in that case, Nighthill will just take it back. So go on.
Dalaman saw that too. The other saw it too.
Saw that you
Either
did.
of them. The horn. At least Dalaman knew I took it.
Delman knows about it. Yeah, he knows about it.
If he thinks and if he wants to mention, it's on him.
Yeah.
But I don't mention it.
Do you mention it, Delman?
Do I see that they are the same, or is it?
There's something different about this one. It's not the same design.
Okay. In that case, I won't mention. If it was exactly the same, I might have mentioned.
Fair enough. Okay. So in that case, Nighthill just thanks you for handing the stuff back to him. He says to Gwen, "Unfortunately, I don't have anything for you, but I think Sasha mentioned that she was preparing something for you."
Just having the chance to talk with Sasha, to exchange notes, has been a lot to me. It means much to me.
Can I search the crates for some hand axes and javelins?
To be fair, there was some in... Castilian mentioned there was some in the army. So you're free to go and just get whatever you need to restock your stuff from there.
Is the Castilian back at the keep?
Castilian comes back a few minutes after. He kind of stopped on a couple of errands. He was lagging behind you guys a little bit. He wasn't there for the conversation with Nub and Sebastian. But yeah, I'll just say he's back now. Do you want to speak to him?
Is the governor still talking to us?
The governor's kind of like mid-flow. Like the questions about the horn was just to kind of break things up. So Nighthill.
I'll let him continue. I'll continue that conversation. I want to talk to the dwarf.
You want to talk to Castilian?
After. Okay. Castilian, yeah, but after this conversation, not breaking it.
I see. Okay, so Nighthill will continue. Afraid there isn't really much more, but we may need your services again in a few days. A scholar went missing just just before the attack on Greenest. He was here actually studying Cult of the Dragon. We don't really know him too well, but he had a companion. When the guards were sweeping this morning, they seemed to have recovered him, but he's in quite bad shape.
What scholar? They're scratching head.
Oh, he's a person who gathers information on things and then shares that with other people. I'm probably oversimplifying.
That's about correct. Yes.
But anyway,
we gather as much as we can.
yeah, Sasha. We brought him into Sasha probably a few hours ago. I think he might be resting in the back of the infirmary away from the others. Not really sure what his injuries are, but she seems to think that he'll survive, but he probably won't be waking up for a couple of days. But considering...
He's in capable hands, as capable as he can be.
Most definitely. But considering what just happened to us, I would imagine any information this man has, either on the scholar or the dragon themselves, will probably help us understand what has happened and maybe if this matter can be followed up, just so we can better defend the town in future.
Prudent.
So with that, Night Hill just says, if you would excuse me for now, I need to tend to the men inside the keep. Feel free to stay at my house for however long you need, and head out into the town if you have any business.
Thank you for your hospitality.
And with that, Night Hill... What's it going?
Sorry, did you say there's like a bunch of like crates and stuff?
Yeah.
Around. Can I rifle through those? Is that stuff free to take or no?
I will say this much: when you get close,
covered.
the guards are considering the scene that Nub just made. They're quite jittery about people going near the crates.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, it's less that they're hostile towards you. It's just more, no, we really don't want anything else to go missing. So just with respect, keep away.
Oh, it's the townsfolk stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, you might actually be stealing his family heirlooms again, so maybe don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so, just to point out, it is about 11:45 now, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to carry on, or do you want to stop here?
I'm fine either way.
You're going for another 10 hours.
In that case, I'll be mush on Monday. I'm sorry to say I'm starting to flag.
Okay. Are you guys happy with us sending it here, or do you want to do anything else beforehand?
Yeah.
Do we still have a little free time in Greenest next session? Like, can we still go into town?
Yep.
There's one small thing I would like to do. Since the Castellan was around, I would like to go to him and ask for the ropes. The ropes that were taken off the bodies and that he stashed. I would like to take them now.
Okay. Castellan goes into the keep where he was stored the robes, and you actually notice when he brings them out, they seem to have been repaired. He says,
"These look much better than I last saw them."
A couple of the gals in there know how to mend stuff. They just kind of wave their hands and minor things just kind of knit back together. I don't do the magic stuff. It's all hocus pocus.
Around. Thank you very much.
And they've also been cleaned as well. Probably by virtue of prestidigitation.
Was there just robes, or was there some sort of headdress?
There was a headdress as well. He kept the whole costume. He kind of had an inkling what you might want to do with it. So it's basically like the cultist's full outfit. And there's two of them.
2 full outfits, okay.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
No, I'm good.
It involved me going out into town to do what I want to do, so nope.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do something in town. But I can wait.
Okay, well,
Same.
in that case, yeah, we'll leave here because we could probably go off into something else. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching. I noticed there was quite a much bigger viewer count than normal, so thank you for sticking around through that. So, until next time, I don't know when we're continuing Secrets of Neros. I don't know if Doom, I don't know if you wanted to try and shoot for a session tomorrow, actually, because you've got your weekend, or whether that's going to be okay for everyone else.
Everyone else?
I shall let you know.
Would that be cool with you, Alf?
You shall let me know.
I'm
Tomorrow should be.
Okay. So.
Sorry, Zach, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I mean, I should technically be working it, but because I've still got the no smell and taste, I'm not sure if they'll allow me to.
Okay.
Even though I do have a negative test.
Yeah. Oh, you got the test, Algra. I was going to say that's a big symptom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that everything's all right anyway. But yeah, there may or may not be Neros tomorrow. If not, it's going to be probably next Friday. And all being well, we should be back with Hoard of the Dragon Queen same time next week. Well, actually, no. Yeah, so probably it's going to be the 9:30 slot. I'm guessing the 7 o'clock's a one-time thing because you're off this weekend, Doom.
See.
Okay, so expect to see us at is it 9:30 or 9? I keep forgetting. 9, isn't it?
9.
9, thank you. Okay, and with that, before I start babbling incoherently even more, it's goodbye for me and goodbye from anyone else, and we shall speak to you next time.
Bye.